So you're probably wondering how posting on Facebook and Instagram is actually going to make you money. You're probably wondering if it's all just these people in the agency space, your employees, or just what you read in these articles and all these videos talking about these likes, comments, and shares and stuff like that. Is it really all for that? Or can it actually make you revenue in a consistent way where you figure out the way to advertise rather than doing direct response marketing? Direct response marketing is where you're taking an ad to cold traffic, ice cold traffic, making aggressive claims, headlines, whatever it is that you're doing. And then you just expect them to go to this landing page and you expect them to just pull out their credit card because you decided to make a long form sales page. Or maybe you're not even doing any of this stuff, but maybe you are disrespecting the sales process, asking for people money right after you met them, and then expecting to get leads and sales online, then complaining about it when you don't. You're working with bad marketers who are conditioned for that. You yourself, psychological conditioning matters a lot as an entrepreneur to see if what you know could either be built upon with a new belief that's validated and works, which I'm going to show you today. Let's hop right into some data on how posting can work. So this is my guy's named Jim Cavell. He's an example here. You can also look at his testimony. I'll put the link in the comments here, but check this out. Jim posts content. We make those fancy things like image quotes for Jim, and it's pretty cool. At one point, Jim was posting just like you may be, business owner, and in your situation, you might have been like Jim, where he wanted to make leads and sales online, but he thought that he could just disrespect the process and go right for leads and sales instead of figuring out that it's not about posting an ad, people going to a page and buying, because that'd be like me walking up to you in real life. Hey, my name's Jeremy. Here's my wire info. No, actually, let me just talk for 20 minutes straight like a long form sales page or like one of your VSLs or webinars that you're trying to run people to. And let me just expect you to buy after I have that conversation. How likely are you to do that in probability from, let's say, 0 to 100? 100 being, yeah, you're pulling it out. 0 being, no, you actually disrespected the psychological sales process to building trust to get somebody to pull out their card. Don't be the person who doesn't have the ability to say, people use the internet, so I need to digitize the sales process the same way that I would in real life, aka not disrespect psychology, warm people up, create trust, create education, post high quality content like Jim. Jim posts videos of him just going throughout his day, pulling out his cell phone, showing people what it is that he's doing in the form of a video. Jim, every day that he's out posting content, he doesn't even have to post. He has a team behind him where he sends this video. We chop it up into a little 30-second, 60-second clip, drop it on his feed. Jim, instead of getting a little bit of views, little bit of comments for each one of his videos here, these are all targeted people who come to his page from us running content engagement campaigns. We also do this in a little greater degree depending on who it is we're working with and depending on the caliber of content that they would desire in a relationship with an agency supporting them. This is animations. And some of this content, same thing, 30 to 60 second clips. A videographer follows this gentleman around. This would be somebody else also holding up your phone maybe, or you getting a $150 microphone off Amazon that can plug into your iPhone or your Android, depending on what you have. Little animations popping up. We do this as well. We create the bar going around the bottom of the truck. We also have opportunities to create those little meme bars on the top and bottom. We caption the videos. We also do fancy outros. We have a lot of examples that we can use for successful testimonials. Eric Casavieri is a $150 million CEO of Retro Fitness, credible franchising gym throughout the United States. He's, in this example, posting on his weekly show that he does on YouTube. This is The Weigh In. He also has another one called The Weekly Gain, and he just also got a show on A&E. Congratulations, Eric. And some of his animations here are showing, and you can see here, high quality content, us posting it for him, him getting, in this case, let's see how many views and comments he got here. 19,000 views in this instance, and it looks like he got about 40, we'll call it 49-ish comments, it looks like. So all in all, you're probably wondering, okay, he's got likes, he's got comments, he's got shares. Your guy Jim's got likes, comments, shares, but I want you to see the differences in the types of content once again. Jim has image quotes, still posting with his family, posting videos in between, whereas Eric is posting towards a very specific type of person, holding a different standard of content, both of which are the clients that we represent, not having to post, us posting for them, us taking these clips that they're sending us, turning them into these, and on top of that, us running what's called an engagement campaign. It's the Facebook Ads Manager for all those who don't know. In the Facebook Ads Manager, you have the capability to target based on interests, based on demographic, based on behavior. This is the world's largest data mining company in history. Facebook makes 97% of its revenue off of advertising. That means they want people to spend money on their platform, but they also want people to be ethical. They don't want people to be advertising towards people making big claims that are a little janky and borderline, let's be honest. It's not direct response advertising anymore, ladies and gentlemen. It's you being able to understand that posting on Facebook and Instagram, you being able to understand that this ads manager is your greatest tool. Even if you think you know how to use the ads manager, check this out. You can go in, you can click the create a campaign button, and the objective that you need to run after you post a piece of content is the engagement objective. And when you create an engagement objective campaign, go ahead and name it, the date, your most recent post title, whatever you want to reference this for organization purposes. And when you click on continue, the second level of this is your ad set targeting. Your ad set targeting, you get to target your ideal future customer. Do not target anybody else with your content. Target the person who you want to have buy from you in 30 days after you've warmed them up, educated them, or entertained them, or at least given them an opportunity to build trust with you before you ask them for revenue. Do not be somebody who just walks up to somebody and says, hey, my name's Jeremy, go ahead and give me $10,000. What the fuck are you talking about, Jeremy? No, I'm not gonna give you $10,000. That's disrespectful to the sales process. You need to warm me up, build trust, educate or entertain me, and then right here, you can go in and define who your audience is. I walk into an exotic dealership the other day, and one of the sales and marketing managers out of our staff of 28 here at the 2 offices we have in Beverly Hills and Miami, they had hooked us up with this guy who was renting out exotic automobiles, Rolls Royces, Mercedes, or some G-Wagons, fancy Jeep, all types of nice cars. Shout out to him. And the Georges, we sat down with George and George, the owners. Here they are, and let's go over what it is that they needed. They were in Los Angeles, and so in Los Angeles, where they were was specifically Beverly Hills, but we didn't want to just limit it to obviously Beverly Hills. People can drive in from LA. We showed them the example of everybody living in this location and then also everybody traveling in this location. Everybody living in the location was actually a greater number than the number that were traveling in. However, both audiences could be targeted and both audiences could be talked to separately. Could you, at this very moment alone, imagine how you would speak to somebody who's traveling to Los Angeles to potentially rent an exotic automobile versus somebody who is in Los Angeles who would potentially want to rent an exotic automobile? That one consideration would give you the ability to do what's called contextual advertising. If your content just posting, in this guy's case, around his little dealership, his little shops on the corner here, he has maybe 15 cars altogether. He can easily shoot content. He has influencers, celebrities, stars, just people coming in to rent exotic automobiles who could also have videos taken of them who have affluence online, with or without that ability for whoever you are and whoever you might be. We also do this for the hair loss surgeon down the road in Beverly Hills here. We also do it for people who have merchant service companies, network marketers, personality brands. Check this out. Everybody who lives in Los Angeles between 18 and 65, let's say that they speak English in this case because the two guys there, they spoke English as well. And let's say we go right into browsing with demographics. Well, let's say at first they would need to be financially qualified. Let's say that they need to make, a high income. We can start with targeting over $500,000 and we can work our way down from there to, we'll call it the range of, what do you guys say? Maybe $250,000 or more in active income that can be targeted based on the fact that Facebook, just like Big Brother, it's actually on your side when you use Facebook the right way. And even if you know Facebook ads, just bear with me here. We're building out our targeting. We're going to get a little deeper than this. You now have the ability to have Big Brother work in your favor. So as we continue building out on the income, our next option that we are going to use is maybe also targeting on liquidity. I had brought this up to the Georges and I had said, guys, what if you could target somebody who had at least $2 million just sitting aside? Do you think that they'd also be somebody who could come in and spend some money? Not somebody on net worth, not somebody who just owns an asset and doesn't really have cash flow coming in real time. Somebody who has liquid, that amount of money. And they were like, yeah, of course. So if you go under the net worth category here, you can actually scroll down into this liquid assets territory and you can target people based on the fact they have over 3 million, 2 million to 3 million, 1 million to 2 million. You get the idea. So if we target some people based on liquidity, and keep in mind, we are within the parameters of Los Angeles, and we are targeting people active incomes between about $250K, and we'll call it liquid $2 million or more. You can click on this option called narrow audience. This is where it gets really awesome. So you need to have the ability to specify where you want to go. Okay, if I'm looking for crabs in the ocean, and I live down in Miami, and I just walk to the edge of the dock, I just so happen to have a casting net, we'll call it, even though I'm fishing for crabs, and I just go and I toss it off the side of my dock. What are the odds of me getting a big crate of crabs back when I just toss it off the side versus the people you see on Discovery Channel and Deadliest Catch going out? Shout out to Discovery Channel. You have to understand the differences. They have radar technology, they have intel, they have the exact location, they have the radar technology to see the amount of crabs on the seafloor at any given moment, and they have the capacity to stay alive in that atmosphere because they have the funding to do it, from the confidence they have, from the math, time, and action they've quantified into this. In your case, you're doing something much simpler. You're just targeting ideal future customers with like $10 a day in Facebook ads right here in this ad manager. But check this out. So for the Georges, the guys renting exotic automobiles, I clicked on this narrow audience option. I said, let's browse a little further, fellas. What do you think we start typing in something about being, I don't know, say in recent purchasing behaviors, having the spending method of under a purchase type, I don't know, upscale travel and services. That seems like it'd be something under the rented automobile category. I said, let's narrow that further, fellas. We're down to 110,000 people. We obviously have to get much more specific to exotics. Let's continue to browse. I came in here, I had gone under behaviors again, and I had said, well, although automotive would specify more towards the category, obviously benefiting a dealership who wants to sell somebody a car. If you go under financial, under the behaviors category, under spending methods, scroll down past these lines of credit. I said, let's target people who have premium credit cards. And then he immediately says, you're right. The Visa Black Card actually gives us an opportunity to give them 2% back through the company itself. So we can tell people about that. And he goes, that's a good idea. We targeted people with premium credit cards, dropped it down to 75,000. Now, let's consider that at this point, we have everybody within 25 miles of Los Angeles, California. We have everybody who speaks English here. We have people active income, 150K to 500K. Liquid though, 2 mil to 3 mil or more. Also, actively having purchase behaviors of upscale travel and services with also having to meet the criteria of using a premium credit card. Well, let's go ahead and let's say that they have an exotic interest in exotic cars. Okay, we target it down to such a low number, it actually goes below 1,000, won't let us target it. So we actually started typing in things like the brands sitting right around us. We targeted Mercedes AMGs, that was a little more upscale. We got a number now of 6,500. Now from here we continued to build out. We targeted things like Ferrari and Lamborghini and Jeep. And as we continued to do these things, the numbers started creeping up more and more. We started throwing out a few options towards the end, like Maserati. I think we even got into Cadillac. And as we continue to sit here and just type in all these interests, we're watching this number right now. For example, it's at about 12,000. If we go to CAD, if I could spell it the right way, Cadillac. Let's go ahead and continue. We're at now 14,000 people who are actively interested in exotic cars, Ferraris, Lamborghinis, Maseratis, Mercedes AMGs, Cadillacs, premium credit card users, actively in their purchase behavior history, upscale travel and services, with 150K to 500K in active income or more, 2 mil to 3 mil or more in liquid assets. Guys, this right here, this 14,000, if they're posting content of a video just walking around showing a nice car, and they so happen to have some animations over it with maybe nothing about sales, but something that just talks about the car or a little fact about the car, the person who coincidentally lives in Los Angeles, who meets the perfect customer criteria for who would be an ideal future customer, to coincidentally, when that person who's already interested in exotic cars, financially qualified and has a history of renting things like this, what do you think that person's gonna make a decision on for where they wanna go to rent their next car if they've actively got content from these individuals that's a high quality, high caliber content getting posted on things like Facebook, Instagram, and then getting distributed out on your behalf. Here's the best part. After you have got in front of these people, it does not die there. It goes much further than that. You are getting your ideal future customers put into a bucket called a Facebook audience. These Facebook audiences hold all types of people. They hold your people on Instagram, they hold your people on Facebook that engaged, that visited one of those pages. Just like website retargeting. You can now retarget based on when people go to your Facebook, Instagram, based on when they engage with posts, based on the fact that they watched a video to a certain view length. Imagine if you posted 30 videos for 30 days that are easy enough to create on your phone that we as a company and an agency can instruct you to do in under 5 minutes. You can easily do with your phone. And you have an opportunity to have that content go right in front of your ideal future customer. And what if I told you you could have an opportunity, just like an email list, to follow up with all of those people who watched those videos 75% of the way through? Would those people who would be in the thousands be more lucrative for you if you would choose to follow up with those people to create more profits rather than just sending a message out to random people, expecting them to see an ad, go to a landing page, and then convert on a sale. We as an agency won't lie to you or try to sell you something that you don't need. You need content distribution before you need anything else, because this positions your brand to use these things called Facebook audiences, where Jim now has 52,000 people that watch 75% or more of his videos in the last 30 days alone, that he now has an opportunity to follow up with. And coincidentally, those 52,000 people aren't just random people. They all coincidentally are the people that we targeted that are his ideal future customers. Jim had a goal over 6 months to have 10 different schools buy the software that he had, or 10 different organizations. He sells to the NFL, NBA, college athletics for football and basketball. Jim's an incredible software entrepreneur and a serial entrepreneur. That's very credible. He had a goal, once again, 6 months to have 10 different clients closed. He was at month 2, and he had 3 of those deals closed. He was pacing for the goal to be met in 6 months. He met us and started working with us in month 2 to month 3, and he had an opportunity to get 8 different deals closed and about 16 different people, maybe 10-ish, in the pipeline. And he said he had to hire more developers. We had told him to spend the recommended $1,000 on ad spend. He ended up 8xing the amount of revenue that he was putting towards ad spend. That opportunity, he had to scale back, put towards developers, because he needed to hire more staff in order to support the opportunity that he was able to get without even advertising for leads and sales. Just with the opportunity of having his content coincidentally target his ideal future customers, then he had them all in a bucket for the opportunity to follow up. But attention's the foundation to any business. With or without lead generation, with or without sales campaigns, we do all of that too. You have an opportunity to get more attention, more engagement, more leads, because leads come from people talking to you. Leads come like back in the day when brick and mortar was a thing. You might be in brick and mortar as well and understand this even better than those who are in the internet space exclusively. People who walk in your door are valuable to you. But before they walk in your door, what got them there is also valuable. Both matter a lot. Are you getting people to walk in your online door that are qualified, that now more than ever can be targeted to the T to meet your perfect customer criteria? And are you disrespecting them, just asking them for money prior to them agreeing that they trust you, want to hand you that money because you've done a good job of educating and entertaining them and getting to them at that point? Are you disrespecting the sales process? It's time to digitize what you know is right. It's time to get leads and sales online. It's time to start distributing content to get there. I encourage you, start distributing your content. Don't be one of the entrepreneurs that gets left out in the dark from not catching up and not digitizing your sales process. And if you need help, you can always reach out to Megalodon Marketing. My name is Jeremy Haynes. I appreciate you watching this video.